the future.
Exactly.
We're off to Florida here for some breaking news on the Trayvon Martin case.
Good afternoon. Does everyone have their microphone where it'll probably work? Looks like everyone's all right with that. My name is Hal Uhrig. Craig Sonner is here with me. To this point in time, I guess most of you recognize us as the attorneys for George Zimmerman. For those of you who are waiting here only in the event that he's going to show up, and that's why you're here, slip on out because that's not happening. We do have what we think is a reasonably important announcement to make. I'm going to let Mr. Sonner start first. I'll do a little cleanup, and then we'll be happy to entertain some of your questions. Okay?
I want to announce today, as of now, we are withdrawing as counsel for Mr. Zimmerman. We've lost contact with him. Up to this point, we've had contact every day. He's gone on his own. I'm not sure what he's doing or who he's talking to, but at this point, we're withdrawing as counsel. If he wants us to come back as counsel, he will contact us. We had contact as of, I believe, Sunday. In the last couple of days, he has not returned phone calls or text messages or emails, leading me to believe that I can't go forward speaking to the public about George Zimmerman in this case as representing him, because I've lost contact with him at this point. I still believe that he was acting in self-defense that night. Nothing that I've said about him or this case has changed in any way. I just can't proceed to represent a client who doesn't stay in contact with me.
Let me provide a little bit more detail and context for that. Last Thursday, before Mr. Sonner and I went to New York to meet on Mr. Zimmerman's behalf with a number of national media organizations, Mr. Sonner was accompanied to the bank by Mr. Zimmerman's father for the purpose of setting up a website by which people might make donations in order to help support him and hopefully pay for a defense. We went to great lengths to make sure that that website was set up in a way that the PayPal account paid directly into an account on which his father had the control and the signature rights, not us. So there'd be no possibility of anyone claiming that we were doing something untoward about that. Mr. Zimmerman was aware that we were doing that. His father signed the cards. We left with the expectation of getting that site up in time to announce it for national media. We did, in fact, make that site's name known to the national media, and it was publicized to some extent, although it was, for technical reasons, didn't get posted up in time. On Sunday, we lost track of George in that he would not return our calls, and we couldn't get hold of him. We had no reason at that time to believe there was anything suspect. But on Monday, we began fielding questions about, did we know anything about the I'm the Real George Zimmerman or the GeorgeZimmerman.com website? And our initial response was, well, that's probably bogus. George hasn't talked to us about that. We don't know about it. So we started making inquiries and frankly confirmed that he, through friends or family, had in fact set that site up and it was legitimate. We immediately began telling the media, disregard the earlier website we gave you that we had set up. Go with the one that we now know that he set up. Cleaner for us. We were happy enough with that, but disturbed that he had not communicated with us. We started reaching out in every way that we knew how to get him. Eventually, the two newest developments are that we learned that he had called Sean Hannity of Fox News directly, not through us, and we believe, I can't confirm this, we believe that he spoke directly with Sean off the record, and he's not even willing to tell us what our client told him. The final straw, if you will, or the final decision-making point was today we spoke with the special prosecutor's office out of Jacksonville. We have been working over the weekend and diligently trying to set up a meeting between Mr. Zimmerman and the special prosecutor's office because, quite frankly, we continue to believe that once that part of the puzzle is completed, given the evidence as we understand it to exist, and given the rest of the facts and the law as we know it exists.
Well, some breaking news in the Trayvon Martin case as his counsel coming out and announcing that they will no longer represent him in the context of his failure to communicate with them for 2 days. Why that is a national cable news press conference, I will never know, but it was, and Carrie is there. Hello, Carrie.
Well, Dylan, perhaps it is something to do with the tension that surrounds this as people are waiting to find out what will happen with George Zimmerman, whether he will be continued to basically face no charges or whether he'll face charges. And while I'm not sure we actually thought that his attorneys were going to announce whether he indeed was turning himself in or not, we certainly didn't expect to hear what we're hearing now, and that is that the lawyers have lost contact with their client and that they do not have a way to continue to represent them, so they're pulling themselves out of it for the moment anyway. We did hear them say during the press conference that there was indication that George Zimmerman had been in direct contact with the cable host at Fox News, Sean Hannity. That is information that NBC News correspondent Mara Schiavocampo had been developing for NBC News, and we were in the process of trying to confirm, and now we actually have it confirmed at this news conference. At least it's believed, according to the lawyers, that their one-time client here was reaching out to somebody at a cable TV show. The website, as you heard them commenting, has taken on sort of an unusual twist here because of the way it unfolded. In fact, many people who looked at that website thought it was sort of an unusual website with some of the quotes that have been placed on there from American patriots like Thomas Paine and others. And at the end of the day, even that website has been evolving because there were some pictures on there that have now been removed. But Dylan, I think of course the headline here is that George Zimmerman, who is not charged with anything, who remains free in the community, now no longer has any lawyers.
All right, Carrie, thank you very much. We'll take a break and be back right after this.